they'll again be so fed up with terrorism that is attacking them that maybe the government is pushed to do something?
The government will be pushed, but government should think itself, because this is after all the government's main job of the government is to provide security to the people, you see.
Common man
I'm going to take a short break, but we're going to continue this discussion when we return. Welcome back. We are discussing why India still continues to be a soft target for terrorists. Mr. Kapoor, just shortly after the break, we've understood to a large extent that India has a whole lot of issues. Of course, lack of political will topping the agenda. And then, what about our technology? Are we outdated as far as technology is
concerned? No, we are not outdated. We only have a soft mindset, you know. I'll put it in a word like that, soft mindset. We have to be very, very aggressive, because this is our country and it is the job of the government to provide security, because the country can never progress, you see, if there is sense of insecurity, you know. Then otherwise they lose faith, and then what do they do? As they've all said, Kasab is not being hanged, now Bowler is not. You see that this is politics, you can't play politics with this sort of a thing.
Right. And more than that, Professor Sharma, do you think we need to reach out also to minorities?
No, we reach out to anybody, yes, after all there are people.
You see, there are... you see, India has a very complex problem. Language, you see, social, economic disparities, all this. So this is a state which is really in a very bad shape. Keeping that in view, still we have been able to maintain quite a good amount of. As far as everybody says about terrorism, never in the history of this world there has been a decisive victory against terrorism. It is like AIDS. AIDS virus changes. So you have to be all the time on your toes.
Yes.
And that is where when the Home Minister says or Prime Minister says that these acts will happen, because the virus is changing.
Yeah.
So you have to be all the time on the lookout.
So are we keeping pace with the terrorists? We have to be one out.
No. I'm telling you that National Intelligence Grid database, where was the? Now this was the first time when 21 categories. The National Intelligence Grid, the agencies could see the visa, travel, air, railways, your bank accounts, every data will be available. No data was not available.
Cell phone,
cell phones, your emails, everything. So 21 categories of data will be available to the intelligence. And this...
keeping that point, Professor Datta, yes, he is talking about this grid that will help. But keeping our state and the central government relationship in view, do you think that would also help to a large extent?
There is no problem about that,
there is no problem on any count. But, if we look at the history also, yes, we are a federal government.
Yeah.
But then there are states like, J&K, where the whole problem had emanated right from beginning. Then the problem in the northeastern states also.
Because the information flow has always been, it's not been really good.
That flow, yes, you talk of technology first,
Yes.
We may be having a good at technology as intelligence, but the human part has always been a significant part.
Yeah.
Intelligence on the ground.
Yeah.
Now that intelligence on the ground, and how that intelligence on the ground is percolated down to the level where actually it matters. In terms of giving it a shape. Now that had also always been missing.
You see what Dr. Datta says, I totally agree with him. Ultimately, to handle all these things, we have to know what is happening on ground zero. Yeah. There is India and there is Mother India. You see, they sit in the air-conditioned room, you see, okay, technology, okay, database, okay, but you must have to know what is happening on the ground. So what is happening, what are the people doing, you see. So that is the main thing, human intelligence. That is the... Americans are spending billions of dollars in Afghanistan, billions of dollars, apart with all the drones and all that. But they and just see that they were able to kill Osama bin Laden in Abbottabad, 40 minutes operation. You see, it's all intelligence, And
I'm sure what they are doing is nothing so extraordinary that we cannot do.
We can do.
Would you agree with that?
In fact, that's a prime example that a country has gone into another country, killed the guy, brought his body out.
And the country was clueless.
And they are thousands of miles away. We are so close. And why can't we pick up somebody? We have the system in place, but we don't have the political will.
Yes.
That is the problem. Now the day you want anybody taken out, we have the resources, we have the plan, we have people who know what the job is, we know where they are.
So this kind of information you've already shared with the center.
It's already been shared, and we can take them out. I would say even punitive action. We can bomb their camps. Where the problem? But the political will is not there. If a country like, who was a friend? I mean, they were their fair weather friends or all weather friends. They have gone inside and killed him and brought him out. We are not friends, we are adversaries.
And
so I think we are fully authorized now after America's action. Nobody can raise a finger at us because the number one police in the policing in the world.
And they did their last rites also, you see. They brought him here.
We are two nuclear powers. You must, with these actions saying that we can go and we can bomb with something. This is not that simple as you think.
Probably for America is a different story than India doing it.
I have a different take on this. The nuclear is no threat.
Okay. No, that I agree with that.
It should not be confused with such an action. It cannot be confused with
See, let's see. All these actions which are coming in India is not just by fluke. They've just been designed. Right, and the nuclear factor also. Kargil was a test case, then came a Parakram, then came 26/11. Now each incident is taking place of India, and without taking a clues on it that nuclear factor upload, nuclear factor started giving the turf to our people around. To take advantage of us.
It should have put on the back burner.
We cannot. Then why did India didn't start when Brast Act took place? The whole army was on the border.
It was not because of nuclear.
See, this is where we should be. What I say is that the things as they are moving, we are moving in the right direction. We are following the best models in the world. For example, NIA, National Intelligence Agency, is a one unified body. Then National Intelligence Grade is the SEC, and counter-terrorism. So we are putting now the bricks therein. But what I say with Dr. Datta has said,
but you know, none of the NIA that you're talking about, it's been 2 years and not even one case has been solved. When you look at it,
the first case given to it.
The first case only they were shown on the news television also. The NIA, I mean, those jackets on that insignia. But
so the other thing is that the ground, as everybody says, beat system in olden times used to be the best ground intelligence, because in every area in Chandigarh they start for 3 months or 4 months, then every time it goes, beat boxes are there. So beat is that person knows everybody who has come here, who has settled here, whether he is not there. So ground intelligence, counter intelligence. Number 2, information collation.
Mr. Kapoor, was it shortage of staff that the beat system actually...
That can be made up. What we say is that we have to strengthen the police station, the ground level, absolutely, Thana.
Yes.
Because he has to know what is happening, who is coming, who is going, you see. And then there is lack of... I was training Delhi police for Commonwealth Games. I 3.5 years, that was my assignment. You see, there is at the ground level lot of lack of professionalism. Politics comes in, this thing, and recruitment. The other problem which is not the forum for that, you see.
You wouldn't say shortage is a problem?
No, shortage is no problem because government is prepared to give money. You see, whenever state has any problem, they go to government. Now we want this thing, government is prepared to give money. There is no problem at all. Lack of professionalism and comparative, you see, they need more incentives. They need more incentives. They are doing a good job, they should be given more incentives, you see. So that is the thing, professionalism, ground level intelligence, and then it's and aggressive temperament.
You know what is our police public ratio? According to the United Nations, the recommended sanction strength is 222, and we have 128.
That is there.
You know,
so we are grossly short.
Apart from the intelligence, important is the enforcement part. Do you have the requisite strength of the people to undertake any kind of contingency? Because most of you, as you would be knowing it, goes for the VIPs and other people. So that's
what I was asking.
See, what
who are we protecting at the end of the day?
What I feel is we need to de-link counter-terrorism force in the state, let's say, take a state, from the routine law and order police force. And you got to train these people only for this purpose, for that human end. Because the center is, the country is so large. Center cannot have human in every place in the country.
You know, I'll just give an example, you know, because America has got this ever since 9/11 hit them. I'm sure they didn't have a very great efficient system.
like
They must
India.
have been similar like India. Their domestic
All
borders
free
must have
society,
been.
enjoying everything on
Yes,
earth.
yes. So 9/11 hit them, and after that they've got their systems. They've got a very efficient system, which is called the Home Guard.
Homeland security.
Homeland Security.
Homeland Security.
They've got
You know, they
Why
have.
is it difficult for us to collaborate with them?
No, we
In
can.
Is
fact,
it
I am the
because we
one
lack
who is
trust?
offering a course on Homeland Security in my department. Right?
Yeah.
I thought I must make an announcement from this podium. You know, the thing is, look at Americans. They have 12 inputs before 9/11 took place. And we had around more than 40 inputs when this Kargil was to take place. We equally had the information when 26/11 was to take place, which was sent to that police also, to the Maharashtrian
Yeah.
police, but it didn't stay with those different wings. There had been all those inputs, but what the Americans have done is they have consolidated those intelligence inputs.
Yes. So
Right?
what is stopping us?
Stopping
That
us
center,
is...
they had this center.
I'll give
They
you an
already have
example.
this
I'll
center.
give
Sir, very
you
quickly, we're going to
just
run out of
hold on.
time.
No,
Yes.
I'll give you. I handled this IC 814. It was
Kandahar.
Kandahar.
You know, when it. You see, we were all telling them to stop the plane at
Yeah.
Amritsar.
Yes.
Now, what do we do about that? You know, had we stopped the plane, Amritsar, you
Nothing
see,
would have-
nothing would have happened except 1 or 2 deaths. Yes, we were prepared for it. We were prepared for that. Okay, because they would have done something. But you see, once you allow them to go leave Amritsar, then you see they're absolutely out of the
I mean, look at that today, you know, the news, it
So
says
very quickly, what is a way forward?
way forward is aggressive
aggressive and
stance and ground level intelligence, operational. I'll put the word operational. You know.
Yes, sir. So
Political
quickly.
consensus.
Political consensus.
This is number one. Number two is police reforms. There are 556 vacancies still
Yes,
in
yes.
IPS. Number three is dedicated officers, because what Batla did to Sharma.
Yes.
So no police
So what
officer.
I
is
think
like-
de-link counter-terrorism from at the state
well,
level
yes.
and have the human end, that part sorting out the human end.
Yeah, that's good.
So what
Yes.
would you say?
political will to solve the problem. You know, unless until that
At
has...
the end, I think everybody's on the consensus with
Yes.
political will.
Yes.
Yes,
Political
you
will,
can't, you know,
professionalism.
put excuses on others. You can't say Home Minister saying it was a PWD, that is the reason that we couldn't have the CCTV cameras. There's not a really excuse. If you wanted to have the system in place, you could have got that system in place right there in the first place.
Accountability.
Yes.
Yes.
The High Court was already attacked once.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
how
we-
can a
we-
target be attacked second time? I think it's unforgivable.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
with me
thank you,
this
thank you,
evening.
thank you.
Well, Anna Hazare talks of corruption and India sits up and takes notice. What would it take for us to be so agitated about terrorism that we finally join forces against it? If the US changed its whole security apparatus after 9/11, the success is largely due to the wholehearted public response, support for it and ready acceptance for tough measures. Overhauling our ground policing, putting in place the time-tested beat systems, tight checks at sensitive locations with no exceptions, much can and should be done. But the most important part, we all of us have to be in it together. We have to accept our responsibility for our security. Well, that's what we have in Prime. Good luck and goodbye.